I want to tell you a story. The other day, one of my kids came to me. It was dinner time. I just served up their food, and they came to me and said, I am not eating my dinner. They refused, they wouldn't eat it. And so, because I believe that, I shouldn't force them to do stuff, I can't physically force it into their mouths, I said, okay, fine, don't eat it. And what I'm allowing there is for them to use their free will, their choice. But sometimes we make bad choices, and these have bad consequences. An hour later, my kid comes to me and they say, Dad, I'm really, really hungry. And they were suffering. They were experiencing the consequences of their bad decision, their poor choice. Now, no human ever makes a decision thinking, I'm wrong, or argues for something that they're not convinced is true. At the time, I'm sure my kid was like, do you know what? I don't want to eat this, and the best thing for me now is not to eat it. But it turned out they were wrong. Only God has the perspective to be correct all the time. In Psalm 119, verse 144, the Bible says, your laws are always right. Help me understand them so I may live. So when we make the wrong choices, we disobey God's guidance, or we make the wrong choice in a situation, even if we had all the right intentions, it can cause harm we never intended to ourselves and to others. And the more power a person has, the worse the consequences of a bad decision will be. And God allows this, because unlike some humans, he's not an oppressor of the free will of others. He won't force you to do something against your free will, against your choice. The 19th century British politician, Lord Acton, famously said, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And what he was saying was, when humans get more power, they tend to make worse choices, often really selfish choices. But God is not an oppressive ruler or dictator. He's a loving Father. And because he's a loving Father, he sometimes allows us to live with and learn from the consequences of our bad choices. But the good news is that he always cares, and sometimes he doesn't leave us with those consequences. In Exodus 3:7, when God's people, the Israelites, were slaves in Egypt, God said, I've seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I've heard their cries of distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of their suffering. And you know what? God saved them from it. He saw the suffering that other people's choices had inflicted on them, and he saved them from it. And when my kid came to me and said, I'm hungry because of the choice they'd made, do you know what I did? I still gave them some food. I wanted to relieve their suffering. I don't want my kids to suffer. And I believe that God is so loving that he doesn't want us to suffer either. But he also loves us so much that he's never going to override our free will or force us to do things that we will not choose to do. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Please do like, share and follow us. I'm praying that God will help everyone who's watched this today to make amazing choices for their life. God bless you.